tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
We are back. This is the after show for the game, season 8, episode 4. It's called Acting Class and Rebound A. I'm your host, Fallon Mercedes, with my lovely co-host, and we have a special guest, but you gotta wait for it.
Yes.
Woo!
Hey guys, I'm Courtney Tezeno. You guys can find me at Teznos. Please send me your questions. I love hearing what you have to say.
Yes, you can find me, Megan Thomas, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Meg Scoop, like Scoop of Ice Cream.
And I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HeyKevinJohn. And I like for you to send me questions, and I like scoops of ice cream as well.
Now let's get a special drum roll for our special person in the building.
Yes.
It is our very own Titi, a.k.a. Mr. Barry Floyd. How are you?
What's going on?
Yeah, give it up. I'm so excited. TT is here. TT.
Thank y'all for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for actually coming and watching with us. I thought that was cool. We got to watch the show backstage with him, and kind of got to ask him questions before we start our own show. So we're definitely going to discuss this week's episode. But Titi has been there since kind of like the beginning with the. You've been there since what season?
Season 1.
Yeah, since season 1. So he's really the original who can tell us where
the OG.
Yeah, the OG, where the game came from, where it went, and now how he feels about where it's going, because it's going off season.
The whole show's secretly about me.
Is it really?
I knew it.
And I remember when, I think it was probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I had saw you on the red carpet, and I had asked you, how did you get your role as TT? And you told me, you were like, actually, I started off behind the scenes. So that was kind of interesting.
Yes,
I think
tell
that's a lot
story.
of
A lot of people don't know that.
Tell us that story.
All right, well, I just kind of wandered on set, and I took somebody hostage and put me on the show. No, I was a production assistant. Mm-hmm. Long story short, they asked me to stand in for another actor that wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And I was just in the right place, right time. Very fortunate. They thought I was funny. They asked me to audition for this part, and I got the part. It is the first time I ever acted or auditioned for anything.
Oh, wow. I was about to ask you that because you are very funny. I don't know, I was wondering, did you have a comedic background or,
no, I'm just
acting background?
Just a trash talker. I was just always running my mouth on backstage. People thought I was funny from that, and, I guess I was fun to be around or something.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be an actor?
No, I moved here to be a writer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why you were saying. That's why you were saying backstage. You were like, "Did you pick that up?" There was laughter, but no applause. I was like, "Huh? What? I never noticed that." It's because
Yeah, because remember we started on CW.
Right, right.
So, and we were a sitcom on the CW.
Oh, this is true.
And now we're kind of a hybrid show. So sometimes, even though it's taking a dramatic turn, is still written like a sitcom. So it's interesting. It's interesting to watch it now, from where we've come, where we started at when it was just a straight sitcom.
Yeah. Is it interesting for you to see Jason and Kelly, then Jason and Chardonnay, and now Jason and Kelly back together again?
Yeah, especially because remember Brittany, who plays Kelly, she left the show for a little while. So it was really good that she was able to come back and close it out with us.
So who do you like better, Chardonnay and Jason, or Jason and Kelly?
Well, I guess I'll go Jason and Kelly just because that's the original.
Yes.
Wait.
Team Kelly and Jason.
That's a great answer. I think that's awesome.
She's not feeling
Because then it comes full circle.
It does.
You team Chardonnay, why?
I always love me some Chardonnay. Hey, girl.
I mean, I love Chardonnay too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandy, but Everybody's getting paid,
Yeah,
everybody's happy.
Speaking of Chardonnay, real quick, happy birthday to Brandy Norwood,
is
who
her
plays.
birthday.
Today is her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Brandy.
Chardonnay is probably
Fellow
sipping
Aquarius.
Chardonnay right now,
Fellow
so,
Aquarius.
yeah,
When's your
big
birthday?
ups.
Yeah.
January 23rd, last month.
Oh,
That's
Not
my
even a
cousin's
month.
birthday.
happy belated
Real?
birthday.
That's my sister and my cousin's
That's my
birthday.
sister's
Whoa.
birthday too. Interesting.
Everybody's
Really?
birthday.
Everybody's birthday.
We should sing happy birthday to
Megan
you.
is always trying to-
Happy birthday to you, Barry.
And you had the nerve to tell me I was tone deaf before the show.
You know what? Don't go there. Don't go there. But you know what? I do want to know about, you being on set. So you typically do a lot of scenes with Tasha Mack and Bibbs and, of course, with Malik on the show. When you first started the show, what do you see different about your character in relation to these other people and your character now?
Well, when I first started, I was just tell a joke and leave a room. That's all I
Right.
did. And over time, they started trusting me with more. They gave me some more drama to work with, and I've just grown as an actor. You remember that first season was the first time I ever acted, and now I feel confident. 8-9 years later, calling myself a professional actor.
Right.
But I learned how to act on that show.
Now, what would you say your biggest challenge was that you had?
Memorization. It was. It's not so much that it was hard to memorize, it's just I was nervous.
Yeah.
The more you think about what if I don't know my lines, the more likely you're not going to know them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to just calm down on that and just trust it to be there when I needed it. And it always was.
Do you see yourself, I know you started off coming here as a writer, do you see yourself going back into that or sticking with maintaining this acting?
Both.
Really?
Got to do more than one thing out here.
Gotta
It's too
hustle.
hard to just
Right.
focus on the one thing because it's so finicky, so up and down. It's nice to have something to fall back on if one thing isn't hitting for you. So
What would you say your passion has kind of, acting is bigger now, or is it writing? What would you say is your passion now?
I don't know. I'm back and forth all the time. I mean, I'll take the easy out and say I'm passionate about both.
Okay.
But if you put a gun in my head, I don't know.
Oh.
Hopefully nobody ever puts a gun in my head.
Right.
You need to get a lie
Maybe
detector.
And you
I'll
said
put
it-
down my Beretta right now.
Guns. There wasn't a gun on this episode, but there definitely was a taser.
Yes.
Brandon,
Man.
Miss Chardonnay was just pulling out all
Fallon,
the.
lovely segue.
Hey,
That was amazing.
Speaking of segues,
Right.
So we see Brandy last episode at the very end. I keep on calling her Chardonnay. She calls somebody on the phone and says, "Hey, I'm gonna regret this." And I called it that it was gonna be Jason, and it was not.
Give
It
me
was
my money.
actually-
Everybody on this set,
but who
give
did
me
you
my
say it
money.
was? But who did you say?
I said it was somebody from her past. It was probably a man,
She
but
thought
I
it was a
did
dude.
say
It wasn't a dude.
But I
It
did
was
say
her
it was
best
somebody
friend.
from her
So
past.
give me half my money. Give me half my
We'll
money.
give you $1, girl, for
So-
that.
I'll take it.
Chardonnay called her old best friend, and I think that's something that everybody has to have in their back pocket. As we saw, Tasha wasn't really there for Chardonnay as, Chardonnay hoped she would be. She realized their friendship was more about football than anything else. So she called her best friend, flew her in town, and she decided, hey, we're going to throw you a little divorce party. Instead of crying and being sad, hey, we're going to celebrate. At the divorce party, there was a lot of handsome guys there, and her friend was saying, listen, the only way you're going to get over Jason is you need to go sleep with one of these guys.
A horrible
No.
friend.
So-
Horrible friend.
I was about to ask the late. Go ahead, but we'll get back to that.
Chardonnay, acting like a teenager, getting peer pressured, goes into the bedroom with this.
Hi,
this
how you
little-
doing, mate?
Yes.
Mighty Hall.
Not mate.
you're
He's
mighty
not
fine.
Australian.
I don't think he was Australian, but he
Is it
might have
British?
been.
don't they still
No,
say
British.
mate in the UK?
Yeah, they say
do?
my
Yeah.
God.
And-
I've
and
never
then-
heard a British one.
This handsome British man.
We ain't hearing it now either.
Just so you know, I would never get booked to do a voiceover as a UK
Thank
person
you, Kevin. Thank you.
or a singer.
We see her going in the room with this British black man, and it was so awkward. Everything about it. He's drinking a soda with Jason's face on it, and then they're about to have sex, and he's talking about I already put it in Raw Dog Reggie, and she's like, no,
Oh, no.
yes,
He didn't
honey.
say that.
No, honey.
He said he put it in Raw Dog Dog Reggie.
What did he say? He said Raw Dog
He said
Reggie.
he came.
He
with
said he
Raw
came
Dog
to the
Reggie.
party with Raw Dog
Yeah, he
Reggie.
came with
he
Raw
better
Dog.
not.
Remember he asked her.
Yeah, you made that. The whole episode took a whole other turn.
I was like, what?
So
I was watching a different
download
episode.
business.
I so didn't get it.
Because remember, he vividly said, "Do you have a condom?
Yes.
Is there a rubber I can put on?"
Yes, I
Yes.
got it now. I thought.
Do you have a Magnum?
She was watching the game on the Playboy channel. That episode.
Hold on. I still don't get it. Raw Dog Reggie.
Was
came
his
to the
friend.
was his boy.
Yeah, he came to the party with Raw
with
Dog
his
Reggie.
boy. Oh, I thought it was talking about his thing.
Perfect way. The perfect way to describe it going wrong.
Okay, well that explains a lot.
That does. So back to the actual script of the story.
My head was in the gutter, but I mean they were in the bed, so I assumed.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she goes into the drawer and pulls out a condom, and I automatically thought, okay, that's probably one of Jason's condoms because she said she didn't have any condoms. So it's so weird to have this man, you haven't slept with anybody since your ex-husband, to have him drinking a can with your ex-husband's face and then putting on his condom most likely. Just was so awkward. And then after they hooked up, she could not find her wedding ring, and she is freaking out.
With
Where's my
diamonds.
wedding? Yes, where's my wedding ring? And she's accusing him. Listen, you're the only one in the room. I went to the bathroom. You took my wedding ring. So then she tases him because she really feels that he has
Now-
her wedding ring.
Now my question is, was she worried about this wedding ring because of its worth, or was she worried about it because of the love behind it?
Barry, what is it? What's the answer?
I would say because of his worth, because
Yeah.
Have
she's
anything.
done with Jason. She,
Right.
I would
Exactly.
imagine there's no sentimental value left.
She was looking to pawn that.
Yeah, that's
Man,
that's
I'm
a nice
talking
little
about
investment.
the cut, the
I'm
size,
telling you.
like everything.
My
Yeah,
first-
she knew all the
My-
details
Yeah.
and the.
My first boyfriend gave me a nice little rock, and I still got that rock to this day. Worth me some
Really?
change.
But
Because of
wait a
the
minute,
worth or because of the sentimental value?
So here's the question that I have, and Barry, you can answer this too. Okay, if you break up with somebody, if you get a divorce, should you return the ring?
Go ahead, you can
Go ahead, Barry. Should you return it?
In a perfect world, yes. I would say so.
I have
That
a
was
different take.
that was what he gave. You know, that was what he gave you to express his love, his affection, and his commitment to
In
the union.
Chardonnay's
Exactly.
case, he hurt her. I think he left her at the altar. She deserves to decide if she can keep the ring or not.
I don't think she should keep the ring. I think she should pawn it off and go ahead and let go the sentimental value put behind it, because when you keep something like that, you're holding on to those feelings, the reason why that was given to you.
Yeah.
Pawn it off. Don't give him the
Oh, yeah,
satisfaction.
pawn it off.
Yeah. Don't give him the satisfaction
Get
to
that
go
money.
face to face and give it back to him. He screwed you over.
No, yeah. I
get rid of it.
think it's the circumstances. I do think, just like Barry said, in a perfect world, you should give the ring back. But I think if you do the girl dirty, I think it's her choice.
What if she does you wrong? Should she get a ring back?
Should she?
She
Oh yeah,
should
absolutely.
give the
She
ring
should give it
back.
back. Yeah. And if she doesn't, as a man, go steal it from her.
Exactly.
Don't
No,
get
because then you
tased.
probably
And you pawn it off. Get that money back.
right.
Now we see at the end of the scene, even though it's the end of the episode, I guess, Chardonnay didn't know what to do. She has this British black man in his undies on the floor, tased up. She's like, okay, how am I going to get rid of this situation? So she calls Miss Olivia Pope, a.k.a. Tasha. And
Why? Why?
Tasha knew, she knew that Tasha could handle the situation.
And Tasha could get rid of a body.
Yes.
No.
Which is what she needed at the moment, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you don't. When she says, when Chardonnay tells her, I didn't know who else to call. I don't have anybody else. I was just like, what kind of sad existence do you have, Chardonnay, that your best friend, who you claim Sonia is your best friend, but you haven't talked to her in God knows how long. You see that she doesn't have your back. She says you're going crazy. She walks away. Like, where are your friends at, girl? What are you doing?
Okay. Just to be on Chardonnay's side a little bit, I have to a little on this time, but we all go through that period of time where we get busy. We don't call as much as we used to in college or back in the day. And I feel like Tasha was her best friend. That was a person she confided in, and that was a person that was mutual to the situation she was dealing with. Her best friend wouldn't know who all these people are.
But whose fault is that?
That's her fault.
Tasha wasn't a good
That's
friend.
her fault. It is, but I don't think the best friend was wrong for telling her, girl, you done lost it. I don't know who you are. I haven't seen this side of you.
Right.
So she couldn't be there. She had to call Tasha.
Barry, was that a good move, calling Tasha?
Yeah, gotta call somebody.
Can't call Jason.
Can't call the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, who? Oh, go ahead.
I think you know who your friends are and what they'll do. You know, Tasha, she's always going to have herself and her son, Malik, and her child's best interests at heart. But who's, like, you have that girl who you guys might not be the closest when it comes to certain things, but if you're about to throw down and get into a fight, you know who to call.
Right.
I feel like every friend has their place. And even though Tasha and her might not have the greatest friendship that Chardonnay might have wished they would have had, she knows that at the end of the day, Tasha has her back.
She does.
Tasha is her ride and die, all right? Everyone has that one ride or die homie.
That ain't her ride or die,
That when-
homie.
She's
So-
the
that
die
is-
homie.
She's
Not-
the die. But she ain't your ride.
the die. You call her, but she ain't along for the ride. She ain't gonna ride the
Whatever the
said-
deal is, Tasha will come up and take care. She's a resolution bringer.
You know
all
who's
right?
a ride or die? Kelly. She's always been that way for
She
Jason.
is.
And
She
now
is.
we see why.
Roll my
Can I
eyes
get
on
a hand
this.
clap? Can we get a hand clap? Please,
No.
please.
Put your hands
Team
down for a
Kelly.
product chop, everybody, including
And-
you, Barry.
And Jason knows it, and you know, it's just unfortunate the way this played out. I wish that Chardonnay wasn't the one, you know, who had to be hurt.
Yeah, she was right in
But-
the crossfires.
You know, Jason was true to his heart, you know, when he realized, okay, I love Kelly. He went through with it. So, you know what I didn't like? I didn't like how bossy Jason was when he first approached Kelly. He was like, there's no Enrique. What are you talking about? You don't have a boyfriend. And to me, I don't think Jason would have ever approached Chardonnay like that. But
Chardonnay would kick his face in.
Exactly.
You were tasing.
But exactly. But I don't like that side of Jason. You know, like it's funny how he can be a certain way with Kelly, and we see that. But he really does love Kelly, and he's willing to make it work on her terms. And I was surprised that Kelly also, you know, admitted and wants to make it work with Jason too. And it was funny.
Wait, were you
yeah, who agrees?
surprised?
Who agrees? Who agrees?
I was surprised that she
wasn't.
admitted it and admitted it so quickly. I thought it would have taken a whole lot more.
Girl, it's a 30-minute
No.
episode.
I thought at least the next episode.
Man, it was so obvious and predictable that this was going to happen. You can tell the way that they both felt about each other. And we saw that throughout last season. So that was just a continuation into this scene here. We knew it was inevitable. I mean, freaking Stevie Wonder could have saw this coming.
Right. I don't know why
Like, it
Chardonnay
was-
didn't see it. She should
Yeah.
have seen that coming.
Exactly. It was blatantly obvious. But I was happy that it came because we knew that they all along wanted to be with one another. They couldn't, you know, resist one another.
Right,
So it was-
Barry, you didn't see this episode, so because you weren't a part of it, and you told us that you didn't even know it was going to happen this episode, right?
Right.
So, did you when Kelly and Jason got back together? Did you know that was going to happen?
I had a feeling, just because that's how I would do it. So, you
how you would write it.
thinking as a writer, that's how I would do it. Because, you know, I feel like the fans want to see that. You know, Kelly came back; they want to see her back with Jason. So I feel like you throw the fans a bone, you give them what they want to see.
Amen. Yeah.
Speaking of what fans want to see, I want to see Titi back with that cluck truck. Are we going to see that this season?
Yes.
Are we going to see a cluck truck?
No.
Oh,
But you know what? You didn't. Well, that's not true. That's not even true.
Way
I was
to
gonna say
ruin
you
our
didn't really.
hopes.
You didn't really see the truck last season, but you did.
Yeah.
No, this
Tasha
season
had
is
the
about.
baby in the truck.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, but this season is about TT's life after the truck and just kind of picking up the pieces from there. Yeah, and he's
Going to
hanging
the
out.
strip clubs.
Yeah, and he's hanging out at
Babysitting.
Fatty's a lot more this season. He's more involved in that
Yeah.
from a business standpoint.
okay.
Now I have a question for you. Do you ever I know you're really funny, but you kind of said you're like more of an a-hole approach. I don't think TT is like that. He's like that comedic relief, very family friendly kind of. So did you like get into this role very easily, or was it just like kind of out of there for you?
No, it was pretty easy. All I had to do in the beginning was just be a sarcastic guy, and I could do that.
Really?
You know, I do that just in my regular life. And then when it started getting heavier, like especially last season when I had to be suicidal and be sad and angry and stuff, you have to reach, as an actor, you have to reach into darker places to bring that stuff out. You know, the other easygoing, funny stuff, that's easy. You know, so last season was when I really had to pull from some different places.
Oh man,
I didn't like that TT.
I didn't. We love you. It was
I
funny.
like the funny, sarcastic TT.
I thought
Which
it was
do you
interesting
prefer?
for his character
Yeah,
to
it
go through
was
those
a nice
emotional
switch
levels.
up.
Right.
It
Yeah.
added, a whole other element
And
to it.
I think they really kind of mimicked your character to people who are in your situation in real life. You see so many people who are, best friends with the baller, or the cousin of the baller, the assistant of the baller, and they live in their shadow. So sometimes they don't know who they are once that that relationship has ended. So it was nice to see your character kind of go through that so he could grow and become his own man, and to have balls and step up to
Right.
Malik. It was nice to see you not be pushed around by Malik anymore. And now we're seeing Malik go through some of the same things. Who is Malik, when he got injured without football, and now having to be back on the team, and he's the third string guy. So it's nice that each character kind of has to go through their own evolution.
Right.
Now, seeing that you have a writer background and that's what you were beforehand, have you ever gotten the script for one of the shows and you kind of went through it and you were like, man,
Shout out to Kenny Smith.
I'm not
Hey,
saying
Kenny.
that. Hey, Kenny, I'm not saying
have
that.
you ever wanted to
doing
make
it.
revisions
Or
on it?
have you?
Can
No.
I
Keep it
say it
100.
like this? Have you ever?
Yeah.
A lot of times what I would do is, well, first of all, I'm not critical of the writing because when I'm an actor, I just respect that
craft,
what do you call it?
The lane that you're in.
Yeah, I stay in my lane. I'm not a writer. I'm sure they don't want me coming up there and telling me their business. I mean, I said that right? Telling them their business. There we go. So if there was something I wanted to add, I would just do it in the moment. And if they liked it, they would keep it. Sometimes I would do some stuff and they think it was funny and they'd leave it in and it'd make it into the episode. And other times if they don't like it, they just tell me not to do it that way.
But at least they
And-
give you creative
Freedom.
freedom
Freedom,
to do
yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, I would do that a lot, and because sometimes they don't know they want something until they see it.
Right.
And I usually would just do it without asking, and if they don't like it, they tell me to pull it back.
Does that happen a lot? Obviously it's a scripted show, but does that happen a lot, especially with Wendy Raquel Robinson? I just feel like this is just so much her that I feel like some of the stuff she does is probably not even in the script, but she's so good at what she does. I'm sure she throws things in as Tasha Mack, and it just works.
Yeah, she does, and Jason does it a lot too. Kobe,
yeah.
He's a really good ad-libber.
Yeah.
Right.
If you
He's
could,
funny.
if you could play any other character, which would you play? Because I know a lot of actors, they audition for a completely different role and they get a different one.
I would probably go with Jason just because that's my outside of myself. That's my favorite character on the show because he's funny. And his comedic timing. We were laughing out loud over there watching the episode.
Yeah, he's on point.
Yeah, that's somebody from the comedic standpoint, that's somebody I kind of looked up to throughout the run of the show.
How do you feel about Blue and Kira since they were introduced in these last couple of seasons compared, because you come from the Melanie and
Derwin.
Yeah, the Melanie
days.
Derwin era, yeah.
So how do you feel about Blue and Kira?
I think that, unfortunately, we lost Pooch and Tia. They went on to do other things. So I think they were like a good, I don't want to say substitution, but like a good replacement because we still needed that dynamic in the show. And because we lost that, those guys are good. They picked up the slack pretty well. I think that, everybody misses Pooch and Tia, but I feel like they did a really good job when they came on.
Yeah.
Right. I have a question about you for the last episode, or I think it was the last episode, when you had to take care of the baby Kai.
Yeah.
So did they have, that was a real baby that you had, or most of the time for your scenes, was it a doll baby?
No, it was real. They had twins come to set and they switched them in and out.
Because
did you
that
pick them
baby
up?
was looking real fake when Tasha. Did you see that one?
Well, no, there's some of the time.
Well, yeah,
she had-
sometimes they
Yeah.
have to use. They don't be giving away the Hollywood magic.
No, you can tell that when she had the sleeve.
Yes,
I was like, that
that's
baby
what
is not
I'm
this
talking about.
big. Okay, that baby is
Yes.
way bigger than
She was
Yeah,
acting like
sometimes
she
we
was
got to do that
breastfeeding
because if the babies don't stop crying,
Right.
you still have to get the shot, and sometimes you bring in the prop baby.
Yeah.
But
did
we
you-
try to have the authentic, the real thing as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you bond with the baby?
No,
You're just like,
because
nah, just hold it.
most of the time they're asleep. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when you get them at their best because they're not
Right.
making any noise because they're asleep.
Right.
That makes sense. All right, we have some more going on in this episode. Kira, she's going to acting classes. She's trying to take her craft more seriously, and she asks, her bestie, her bro, Mr. Malik, to stand in as her scene partner. So, as a good friend, he's like, yeah, I'll do this with you. So they get on stage, and they're trying to do this scene of, lovers, but there's no love connection. And, the teacher, she kind of just shuts it down and says, you guys are supposed to be in love. You guys need a kiss to get that spark going, to get that that chemistry going, and then do the scene again. And
which, by the way, if for Kira to have been acting as long as she's been acting as a child star, she should have known that. So that's when she said, "Are you a real actress or not?" I was like, Kira is not a real actress because she would have known.
That's like acting 101.
Fiance or not. Like this person is who you're in love with. I don't care if it's your blood brother. Yeah. You better kiss him on the lips if you're a real actress. And if you're not, you need to accept. Say, I am not a real actress. I am not going there. Sorry.
So they ended up kissing, and sparks did fly. Awkward sparks.
It was awkward.
It was awkward for us watching. I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was hot.
Yeah,
but it was hot. But it was awkward hot.
Weird
it was
hot.
I'm kissing your brother.
Yeah, I thought it was grossly. It was incest.
Let me tell you, I have been best friends with my best friend since I was 13 years old, and I remember one day we were painting each other's nails. He was letting me paint, and it got real awkward
Titi's
because
face said it all.
but that was like my brother. I could do anything to him, So we started painting each other's nail, and then nail polish got all over, and he started like taking nail polish off me, and then it got real awkward. And I was like, oh man, and that was just taking nail polish off of each other. I couldn't imagine kissing my best friend like
I think
that.
putting the nail polish on was a little.
You was already in the awkward zone right there.
Right. But
that's a good friend.
He's a great friend. They kissed. Awkwardness, and then they did the scene again, and I think Malik did a great job. I think Malik was really feeling Kira.
Right.
Kira, she was acting like she was in love, but the girl can't act as an actor on the show. Acting, it was just but anyway, so the teacher.
Thought Malik did a good job acting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like, you're her partner.
I believed it exactly. And the teacher had said, now that girl doesn't have a fiance, meaning, damn, that kiss was so good. She ain't gonna be engaged anymore, and it was even more awkward on the elevator. They were going down to probably after the class was over, and it was just kind of like silence.
Right. Barry, was that awkward for you to watch? Knowing their characters.
No.
Not as yourself, but as Titi.
He's like, I see them hook up all the
time. I wouldn't say awkward. It's hard because I know what's gonna happen. I don't want to give nothing away. But
I mean, you can't.
Wait.
I can't wait for predictions.
We have an exclusive.
No, you don't.
Trying
to get me in trouble.
Right.
Before you get into your questions, so often we see that best friends have they have a thing for their girlfriend. I feel like in this case we're gonna see that Malik has been harboring some feelings. I know this is a prediction, but like that kiss was so intense.
Especially for Malik.
Yeah, and no one else felt that.
Man, I didn't feel that. Kiss to me just looked weird, sloppy, and awkward.
It
did not look like this passionate, like, oh my God.
What'd you say, Barry?
Is it the chemistry between them that you're not feeling, or is it the you don't believe the situation?
Man, the kiss looked forced. I mean, obviously it was, but it just looked like it looked that way. It did not look like an organic kiss of two people that were truly into one another.
Awkward because of the situation for me. I'm not saying
everyone's watching.
I do believe some friendships of the opposite sex. Usually there's an attraction there, and that's how the friendship starts. And then whatever happens, you end up going the other way. But usually you don't find a male and a female best friends if there wasn't an initial reaction. Attraction to one another.
No,
so,
that's actually the way it's supposed to be.
What?
Yeah.
Did you say that there was an initial reaction?
But I'm saying usually when you see a guy and a girl that are best friends and they're not together or they never dated, usually they became friends at first because there was an initial attraction. You don't find
That's actually
you don't
I feel like
find
it's the opposite.
No,
I would
yeah,
feel
You
the
don't find
opposite.
many best friends that were not attracted at all. Either the
'cause
guy was
then I have to
attracted
beg-
to the
I have
girl.
to beg to
is,
differ.
the thing is, though, I think, I have to beg to differ too. I understand what you're saying, Fallon, but I do have to disagree because I think if there was an attraction from the get-go, then they wouldn't have instantly became best friends. They may have
Exactly.
tried to
But
date or
sometimes-
things of that sort.
No,
Usually you become friends because there isn't
sometimes-
that physical attraction.
No,
Go
sometimes
ahead, Fallon.
I love this.
I've had guy friends where I was attracted to, but I would never date them. I would see all the things that they would do, and I'm like, we will never go there.
But
You
that was
know?
because of
you.
that was
That
because
was you.
yeah,
But that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Usually something will happen, or maybe the guy doesn't want to step on his boy's shoes who really likes the girl. I mean, there could be so much. I don't know. That's how.
I've never
Titi,
been attracted to a
Are
female
you
best
on my
friend of mine.
side?
My
Neither.
female,
Yeah.
How many
my
ugly
friend.
girlfriends you got, Titi? Let's be serious.
Wow.
Dang, she said ugly.
Not many.
I'll just say it's hard to get out of that friend zone once you're in there.
Right.
So I would have to agree that you only became friends because the initial attraction wasn't there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wasn't
thank
there?
you.
Okay.
Right.
Not there.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's yeah. Because if you meet somebody and you're both attracted to each other, then instantly there's going
Yes.
to be some kind of dating
You
or
take that
something.
next step.
You take the next step.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't take it with somebody when there is no
Or
physical
maybe
attraction.
you
And
have
most
a
guys,
boyfriend, or
unless you-
maybe they have a girlfriend, or maybe you don't want to be the one to.
All these
open that
hypotheticals.
door.
Go ahead, Barry.
I would say most guys, once you get out of middle school, high school, most guys that are approaching you probably aren't interested in being friends.
Yeah.
They might take that if that's all you're willing to give.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you.
So maybe from a guy perspective, but from a girl perspective, it's usually different.
I don't know, because I'll even say from a guy perspective, like I instantly I can tell from having a first conversation with someone whether or not they're going to be a friend or it's a person of interest.
Well,
Yes.
okay, but I'm saying in this situation with Kira and Malik, there was never the initial interest.
I think Malik probably liked her, and she probably shut him down,
Yeah,
and that's why he never crossed that line.
Are we?
It was like,
I know you can't tell us what's gonna happen, but are we gonna find out their past, or are they just gonna go future with it? Like what's going from this kiss forward, or do we get to see the beginning of their relationship and how they met? Do you know that?
I don't know because
Okay.
I don't have a lot. I didn't get a lot of scenes with Lauren this year. So a lot of that stuff happened without me around. So I'm going to be watching it with you to see.
But
I mean,
you
I know
were
how
with
it
Malik.
ultimately ends, but I don't know how we get there.
Okay. Because I would be interested to see. I don't think they started off like liking each other. I think it really was like, I think Malik really saw her and was like, she's cute, but this little virgin girl. She's so like,
really? Yeah.
she's
No,
so
but
little girlish.
I have to disagree. I think that was the thing that could have made Malik be like, oh, this little virgin girl, I'm about to get it. Like, he could have initially thought that, but then his friend was really feeling her and wanting to take her serious. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
I'd love to see it flashback.
I'm about to say I have a
shall
mean prediction
see.
about that when it's time.
we will see. Okay, so
I just want to say this though. We didn't talk about this for Jason and Kelly, but I think I don't like how this is going so far. I know everybody is Team Jason and Kelly up in this piece.
all right.
But the fact that they say at the very end, or she's like, I'll give you a chance. We got to take it really, really slow. He is super excited. He's super happy. Of course, they're going to give it a try, but I don't know. It doesn't feel good with my skin. It doesn't feel good. I don't think it's going to end up the way y'all think it's going to end up.
You know
I feel
what,
it
Megan?
think
That
there's gonna
sounds
be
like
spirit.
that sounds like a hater.
A
right there.
hater.
A
I will be
hater,
that.
big H. I think
Okay.
Jason and Kelly are gonna reconnect and just revitalize that love that they once have, and they're gonna live happily ever after.
I
Yeah,
agree.
just give
Yeah.
in, Team Kelly. Just give in.
Yeah, exactly. Give in.
Whatever, TT.
I mean, I definitely think we may see a couple bumps in the road, but that would be because Charnay is gonna, put her little 2 cents in because she still has feelings. But I also think that Jason and Kelly, as Jason said, he loves this new Kelly that's strong and independent. So like, what Chardonnay had, now Kelly kind of
But
has
I'm just
that.
saying, but even Kelly says, I would see you with Chardonnay, and I like this new Jason, the Jason that, is more loving, more like the Jason that she didn't have, and she was looking at their life and saying, I want that life. But here's the problem with that. It's always greener on the other side. And I
It
really
is.
feel like now that she has Jason, she's going to see like, you know what? If you're
haven't
actually the
changed.
same Jason that you were before. You were only different because there was a different person in your life that required something different out of you. But Kelly doesn't require anything different out of Jason.
No, but she does. She's a new Kelly. I mean,
Yes,
she's
exactly.
a new Kelly. So
I'm
I feel like
telling
she
you.
kind of has taken on those traits that Chardonnay had.
We
and
are
that's
passionate.
yeah.
He's like, y'all taking this too seriously.
I know, right?
No, this is
Megan,
good.
you are making a very compelling argument, but the unfortunate thing about that is you're just trying to dissuade everyone from thinking that they're
Don't
getting
you
back
worry.
together. They're
I'm
getting
just
back
telling
together.
you.
and it's
But
been
yeah,
a-
what's
I'm
the chances that he'll get back with Chardonnay?
I don't think it's gonna be
debacle?
Chardonnay. I don't think it's gonna be Chardonnay. It's gonna be something else. Something else is gonna happen, unless you're trying to foreshadow and tell us that they get happily married.
Hey, don't put on. She's trying to get me in trouble.
I know. Kenny's like, Kenny over here watching like, don't you say nothing, Barry. No, I have a question for you though. Are we gonna see Titi in love again this season?
Please.
You'll see a little something.
Okay.
Not on the level that I've always wanted them to go back to Homegirl from season 4.
Right. The girl, the girl that you were so in love with.
Yeah, I always wanted them to revisit that, but they never did.
Okay.
But they do give me a little something to play with
Okay.
in one of the episodes coming up.
Okay.
So
One of the strippers from the strip club.
no. It's me and
the club.
She's wholesome. She's wholesome.
oh man, I don't know how much I can. Just watch. You'll
She's
see
a
TT
good- okay.
on a nice little date with somebody that you're probably not expecting.
It's gonna be Chardonnay. I knew it.
Maybe.
It's not gonna be Chardonnay.
She's just gonna keep saying names.
I know,
I know, right? Until he gives in.
That was a good tease. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good tease.
But yeah, I whatever you'll see it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think I'm gonna be really happy with it. So.
Okay.
So what's next for you as Barry, as an actor, not as Titi? I know this season is coming to an end, and you kind of said you're kind of excited to see what's next, because you've done so many seasons on this show. What can we expect? Any roles coming up? Any movies? More shows?
Well, it's pilot season right now out here in LA when they're casting for all the pilots. I just on my way in, I got an email about something that I have to go read for on Friday. That's why I had to keep leaving and using the phone and stuff. So I don't want to jinx that, but that's looking good for me. I'm excited about that. So hopefully that'll come together. And beyond that, just I don't know what's next.
Any
But I
chance
know
to go
something
back
is
to
next.
doing some PA work?
No, never that.
You know what? When I first started acting, I always told myself, yeah, I could go back and do that if I needed to, but I'm a little older now. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
That's fresh off the boat work. Like when I first got here from LA and got off the plane and I was hungry.
Where
to
are you
do
from
anything.
originally?
I'm from Philly.
Oh, you're from Philly. I'm from Boston. I used to drive down to Philly all the time, like 5 hours.
I've never been to Boston. Say park
Yeah.
the car.
No.
Hold on. So you're from Philly. Hold on. Bibbs on the show is
He's
from Philly, right?
too. Yep.
That's the haircut.
cool. Yeah,
Dude, you can
Jigga.
tell he got that Philly cut.
Everyone got that Philly
Beard,
beard.
that must
That
be beard.
freeway beard.
This is all I got. I tried to get a little. I tried to grow it, but it didn't come in.
So you said you write. Do you have any scripts that are in the works that we're gonna see come to life?
Not yet, because I stepped away from writing for a little while and just was focusing strictly on acting. But then I decided I wanted to get back into writing, and I started taking classes at UCLA. Anybody in LA, I guess even outside of LA, because you can take courses online. If you're interested in writing, look up the UCLA extension courses. There, I'm a UCLA commercial right now, but I mean,
I was a nice plug.
I'm very satisfied with the class I took, and I'm going back this summer to take some more.
Oh, nice.
And it's really helped me grow as a writer. So I'm hoping to have something that I can do something with this time next year. And I'm working on a pilot with a friend of mine, Brandon Broussard. You guys know about Purple Stuff TV? That
I've
did a
heard of
little
it,
while
yeah,
ago? Yeah. So actually it's still up on YouTube, Purple Stuff TV. It's a little project I worked on a few years ago. And I got back with that team, and we're working on a new pilot called The Life and Times of Jamie Jones. Okay. And it's basically like we wanted to take a show like Sex and the City, because girls get a lot of shows, even being Mary Jane, you get a lot of shows where you get to be honest
Right.
Yeah.
about what it's like to be women. And there aren't too many shows like that for men. We had something like Entourage, I would say, is the closest that we had.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take a show for guys where you can be honest about being a guy and be honest about what it's like to date and be single as a guy.
Because men are very vocal about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but we don't get to do it on TV
Exactly.
too often.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's I'm a part. That's not my project with my name's on it though. But I didn't create it. But I'm a part of that, and we're pushing that right now with the Purple Stuff team and seeing if that goes somewhere.
So where can we find that? Online, you said?
No, that's purple stuff you can find online. Jamie Jones' project is in the works. We're
Okay.
pitching it around town, and hopefully something will happen with it.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, if y'all looking for
into
another
that.
male actor to join the cast, you know what I mean?
And we might be.
I know somebody.
Might be.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I did an episode of the game and I was looking for you.
What
Because I
episode?
wanted to be, last season when it had to do with the money, I played a reporter. They were watching the TV show, and I played the reporter interviewing the guy who was supposed to write about Jason, I don't know.
Doing drugs.
Yeah, doing drugs or whatever.
steroids.
Yeah.
It's the steroids. So I was in that episode, and I was on set, and I was like, I have to meet everybody because shout out to Kenny Smith and the whole writing team for putting me on the show. And I really, I was just like, where's Titi? I haven't met him.
Aw.
So
I
I'm
must
so
have been
glad you're
off
here.
that day.
Yeah, you weren't
But
here that day.
we finally got to meet them.
I know.
thank you.
My life is complete.
That's what happened.
Do you guys want to do predictions?
Let's do it.
I can't wait.
Okay.
We're gonna let you go first.
And now,
Actually, I already know my
your
predictions.
AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Yes. Let's start with you.
I think I pretty much,
What is it?
displayed my prediction throughout this. My prediction is that Jason and Kelly are not going to work. He's going to find out that he loves Chardonnay the most, and him and Chardonnay are going to reconnect.
What?
Hell no, that ain't my prediction. Jason and Kelly are getting back together.
That sounds like
Yes.
Megan's
I
prediction.
know.
Because I was
No.
over here wait a minute.
I got
Wait,
somebody on my team.
I was
Wait,
making sure
what?
y'all were listening. Of course, Jason, Kelly goes together like peanut butter and jelly. They're
Are you
getting back
serious?
together.
That's the
Ryan,
most
too.
boringest ever because everybody now is going, Jason and Kelly are getting back together. End of story. There is a whole nother season, folks.
Megan, I'm
That
gonna
is
need
no.
for you
I'm gonna
to-
tell you
to-
this
to step off that.
because we're still in the beginning of season 8. We still got the rest of season 8 plus season 9.
So, Megan, what's your prediction?
Wait, there's a season 9?
So, yeah,
thought
that's
this was the last
No.
season.
Season
No,
9's the last season.
Oh, we got one more season.
Yes,
oh,
honey, so
know
there's
what?
a
We
whole
shot
lot of
everything,
stuff.
like Mad Men did. We shot a whole season, chopping it in half, show half the season this year, and half of the other season next year, and that'll be season 9.
Oh, so so they're
okay.
done shooting, but
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we might actually see more twists then, if that's the case.
Exactly.
We will, but they're gonna end up together.
Boo.
Oh.
Why are you so against her?
You know, I think
Just let it happen.
this is my prediction. I predict Chardonnay is going to take some time away from San Diego on her own. She may return, but I think she'll be over it. She'll be in such a strong black woman, independent place that she's not gonna hate Jason anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's cordial with Kelly and Jason because she knows, okay, that's who he really loves, because Kelly and Chardonnay were kind of cordial before, they got married and then separated. So I feel like for Chardonnay to really have peace with being alone, she needs to forgive Jason and kind of put that situation behind her. I don't think any hatred in her heart could
Absolutely.
harbor
I
anymore.
think she's gonna milk it for all that it is. I mean, she's gonna go to the press with this. I could just see her taking advantage of it because, I mean, again, she has this ring, and her brand did not blossom from that Perez Hilton press. So I feel like she's definitely gonna run with the fact that there could be a Jason and Kelly happening again. So I think not next episode, but a few episodes from now we'll see that. But my prediction is about Blue and Kira.
I was about to say that. We didn't
Yeah.
talk on
It's
that.
about Blue and Kira. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
Oh, God.
I think that Blue and Kira are going to have some problems because I don't think Kira is going to be completely honest about this kiss. Now, Blue is now captain.
He's gonna hear it in the
Malik
locker room.
Yeah, he's going to hear it in the locker room. That's going to fire
bad.
him up.
Ooh.
I just see that
No
going.
football player wants any man
Right.
talking about his
And we
woman.
saw that with Derwin when Melanie was all up in the press.
Girl, Melanie.
Ooh.
So I see that going completely downhill.
I
Malik
predict
is
that
going to
too.
use that in the locker room to really tear Blue down.
Yep.
And Blue's gonna be like, "What are you talking about, kissing my girl?"
She
He's
didn't
gonna
say
go
it.
home.
Right.
Kira, why didn't you tell me?
Yep.
All bad.
But you know what? Okay, so here's my prediction.
Good prediction.
I think that Kira now has some issues because she really feels like, because that kiss was like, I really do feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you, you feel me. Let's do this thing, but we shouldn't. This is weird. Oh my gosh. So I think as a result of that, she's going to now, her and Malik are going to Malik's gonna be like, you're the one that I never knew I needed. You're the missing piece to my heart. And so then she's gonna be stuck in between Blue and in between Malik. I don't know who I should pick.
Oh, bad.
This sounds like a
sounds
freaking Jerry
terrible.
Springer episode here.
Was I right? Was I right, Barry? Shake your head.
Hey, Kenny, I'm not giving them no secret.
Barry,
What's
what's your prediction?
I predict Seattle Seahawks will win the Super Bowl. And there won't be any stupid plays called at the end of the game at all.
Okay.
Oh, so
that was last week, huh?
Wait, you're not a Pats fan?
Huh?
You're not a Pats fan?
Boo.
Oh, I was going for Seattle in that game.
Really? I mean,
and
but you're Philly. You're a couple hours away from Boston.
I'm not a couple. I'm a few hours away from Seattle right now. I mean, you know what? I had nothing against. I'm sorry, I got y'all off topic talking.
No.
But no, I'm not against. I like Brady and all them. I wasn't against the Patriots per se. I was just kind of more favoring Seattle. But the Eagles weren't in it, so I didn't really have a dog in that fight.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the Eagles haven't been in a while.
Okay, but you didn't tell us our prediction for the show.
I can't get.
Okay, no, you know what?
Yeah,
You can give
read
us
the script. How can you give a prediction?
No, do this. You can give us a prediction. It doesn't even have to be real. Just something outlandish, or it could actually be real. Whatever. We don't know the difference.
I predict next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I predict next Wednesday at 10 o'clock there will be a new episode of the game.
Okay.
Yes.
And I almost got the time
True
wrong.
prediction. Well, we want to just thank you so much for taking the time out to stop here and kind of hang out with us, watch the show, talk about the show, and tell us about what it's like to have been on the game for so many seasons.
Yeah,
We're
very
definitely
blessed to be on a show that ran that long.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna miss you and the whole crew. Wow.
Right.
You'll see us again. Everybody's it's the end of one
Chapter.
One door closes, another
Another
one
one opens.
opens.
Amen.
I'm all
And they
messing
need
up
to
my
release
quotes
this stuff on DVD because I have it from when you guys
Oh
first started.
man, me
Look
too.
at that.
I do.
Dedicated.
The first 3 seasons are on Netflix right now too.
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yes,
Yes, because I sure did go back and watch it.
Did you?
Like I ain't never seen it. That's a true fan for you right there.
Right.
All right, you guys, you can find me online at fitwithfallon.com and at fitwithfallon on Instagram and Twitter. Where can they find you?
Hey guys, you guys can find me at Teznos on Twitter and Instagram. Use the hashtag ABTVTheGame and tell me what you thought about this week's episode.
And as always, you can find me, Megan Thomas, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Meg Scoop. And don't forget to subscribe to AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. Just search AfterBuzz TV YouTube /
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Give us
exactly.
5 stars if you check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud as well.
Yes, and I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Hey Kevin John. You can find me here every Wednesday night recapping your favorite show, The Game.
And where can they find you, Barry, online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Barry_Floyd.
And we will see you guys all next week for the new episode.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thanks a lot, Barry. We appreciate
Thanks for
you.
having me. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Hold on.
Bye. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.